Shakur, did you think it was a draw? Who you thought won? Lamont? You still want the Tank Davis fight? You want the Tank Davis fight? Would a draw take out a little speed or fire out of me, or is it still the same? Shakur, what went wrong for Shakur?
114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
Hey Danny, what do you think about the fight, man? Was that a good decision?
Lamont came to fight. You can't take no credit away from him. I think Tank had a little off night a little bit. He was off a little bit tonight. But Tank, Lamont came to fight. You can't take none away from him. He earned that tonight.
If you want a rematch, do you think it'll go differently? I do 10x that. Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision? Okay. But what do you think about the decision?
In the early rounds, it was as though Tank was doing what he does and setting up a possible knockout or a probable knockout, which is what most people expected to see. And then over the course of the next several rounds, we saw that maybe the opponent, Lamont.
I think he deserved a draw. Lamont came with his A game. He came ready to fighting all night. I think the whole crowd was pretty much looking for that big punch Tank would land. See if Lamont get hurt, but he came ready. He came in shape. Shout out to Lamont. Shout out to both of them. It was a great fight. I think a draw was deserved.
You think about the inside Tank? There you go. So basically, he just says he went for Roach, to win the fight. It wasn't a close decision. But he did have Roach win it, and ultimately, in terms of himself, he thinks that if he were to get the rematch, he just wouldn't allow it to end in the judge's hands. Like, it wouldn't be a close decision right now.
What did you think about why you lost?
Tank looked like the guy with the heavier hand, but Lamont has a better chin. So it's all relative. Tank hits real hard, the guy can take it, it doesn't matter. And I thought Roach was brilliant tonight. He had a good game plan, but the early rounds were haunted. He's gonna lay up at night with that. He wasn't a little more aggressive early on.
I thought they both put it out there. Roach definitely showed up and did his thing. But Gervonta Davis is the champ, and it takes a lot to be able to beat the champ. But Roach definitely had something that wasn't expecting later in the power. His combinations as well. He definitely came to fight, man. He got great skills, and it was a great fight overall.
There was a moment where it seemed like kind of like bullying the bully. Do you think that was kind of part of the tactic?
I was surprised too because Roach is a little bigger than I thought. I didn't think he was going to be able to do what he did, but he ended up doing it. Man, congratulations to both fighters for making it happen and stepping up to the plate. And they went toe to toe at times, so it was great.
You think if they do a rematch, it'll be kind of a similar fight, or you think one will be able to?
I think it'll be a little different. Similar but a little different. I think there'll be a little bit more aggression this time, next time around. I don't know.
Awesome, appreciate it, champ.
Bueno, yo esperaba ver a un Rayo igual corriendo como lo hizo contra mí, pero creo que como se lo acabo de decir al compañero de ustedes, ¿no? Le dieron una probada de su propio chocolate y bueno, me hicieron ver sumamente mal y bueno, creo que no es de que yo lo diga, pero pues ahí está. la pelea que dio Rayo ahorita ante un peleador que le huyó y que le metió las manos todos los rounds y Rayo no ganó ni uno.
He basically said, you know, he thought Rayo was gonna run like he did when they fought, but
Just because, we said maybe because Lamont didn't come in, really, I think he got overconfident. He was thinking Lamont wasn't that good. I told everybody how the fight was gonna go. The fight went exactly how I said. Exactly.
After seeing this performance from Gervonta, do you believe your confidence has gone a little bit more up? Possibly.
Actually got stronger moving up 5 pounds to 135 pounds. He was able to take Tank shots without ever really being in any serious trouble. That, I think, was unusual and disconcerting for Tank. He got a little desperate in the late rounds and began throwing much more than is normally the case.
Ante fight someone else like a Shakur or another opponent, but overall, what are your thoughts of the fight?
I tell you what, the fact that Lamont Roach is as familiar with Tank Davis.
Sean Porter was anticipating a keenly contested clash between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach on March 1st at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Baltimore's Davis 30 successfully defended his World Boxing Association lightweight title against 29-year-old familiar foe Roach of Washington. The fight was expected to bring back old rivalries following the two fighters' amateur clashes. Porter, a former World Boxing Council welterweight titlist, had expected a very tough contest.
Familiar with Tank Davis as he is. It goes beyond them fighting in the amateurs. They've spent time in camp together. He's been around Tank. He's seen Tank up close and personal, whether he's in the ring with him or not. That matters.
The fact that Lamont Roach is as familiar with Tank Davis as he is, it goes beyond them fighting in the amateurs. Porter told Fight Hub TV they spent time in camp together. He's been around Tank. He's seen Tank up close and personal. Whether he's in the ring with them or not, that matters. When you know a guy's rhythm, when you know their speed, when you know what they're thinking, that changes everything. Davis 30 and Roach January 1st 25 were scheduled to face each other on December 14th. But the fight was rescheduled to next March. Boxing Scene reported earlier this month that Davis had failed to honor the initial fight date after the birth of his son in August, opting to spend more time with his newborn instead of going away to camp.
Until he gets hit. And again, he's tasted that before. So if he gets hit and he doesn't go away, we got a fight on our hands, you know? I think it's a good fight.
Davis goes into the Roach fight on the back of a devastating 8th-round KO win over Frank Martin in June, making it 4 consecutive stoppage wins. Meanwhile, Roach has managed 6 consecutive wins since losing to Jamal Herring in a World Boxing Organization 130 pounds championship in 2019. In November last year, Roach became a world champion when he earned a 12-round split decision win over Hector Luis Garcia to clinch the WBA junior lightweight title. Roach successfully defended his belt last June against Go NCC, stopping the Irish southpaw in 8 rounds.
Good fight. I think that there's better fights for Tank Davis, but this is a good fight for him.
Do you think ultimately, as a story, like any Tank fight, like once he touches him, it's lights out?
We'll see. Like I said, when you've tasted that before.
Despite Roach's credentials, Davis's power makes him the favorite ahead of the clash, but Porter believes Roach would be up to the task on fight night. This might be a fight until he gets hit again, and again he's tasted that before, so if he gets hit and he doesn't go away, we got a fight on our hands. I think it's a good fight. We'll see. Like I said, when you've tasted that before and you know what it feels like and what it looks like and all that kind of stuff, it's much different from it being your first time getting hit with that kind of power, your first time seeing that kind of speed and that kind of the overall makeup of a Tank Davis is surprising to most fighters. It won't be surprising to Lamont Roach.
He throws 28 punches per round, which is the lowest punch output of any major fighter in the sport, and he has a 94% knockout percentage, which is the highest knockout percentage of any major fighter in the sport. So those are two thoughts that
Gervonta Davis scored his 31st victory and 29th knockout when he defended his World Boxing Association lightweight title against Lamont Roach Jr. this Saturday. According to Jim Lampley, the longtime voice of HBO Boxing, Lampley will work the Davis-Roach pay-per-view as co-host of a live chat on PV.com during the website's broadcast of the event, which is also available for purchase on Amazon's Prime Video and via traditional cable and satellite outlets. Lamont Roach Jr. has done his best to portray optimism. Lampley said he has pointed out that he saw Davis in the amateur ranks and is already familiar with the 135-pound champion's precision power style. He has underlined his motivation to begin fulfilling his dreams of building a legend. He has observed the money-making platform that would ensue from an upset win. He throws 28 punches per round, which is the lowest punch output of any